order for a country that prides itself on its morality, its moral perspectives, even its religious foundation. I mean, don't forget, even on our money talks about in God we trust. So the issue of God and, of course, the rules and laws of God are very much a part of who and what we are. Our nation, though multivarious, multi-denominational, multi-religious, has always been a nation that's been very heavily driven by Christian values. The founding fathers talked about it. It's talked about throughout our history. So when we look at issues like slavery, you have to figure out some way to be able to justify the servitude of human beings, but also be able to justify that in a way consistent with those same moral values. So what it means is that you end up convoluting, as most theologians would tell us, the real teachings in our Judeo-Christian society. So moving that forward, that means that you had to dehumanize an entire group of people. You had to determine, as even our Supreme Court determined, that African Americans were not full human beings and would be counted as only 3/5. You have to also look at the laws that particularly said that there were no laws in our society, or the judicial renderings that said there were no laws in our society that protected African Americans that white Americans needed to honor. So in essence, what we've always found is that exception to the equality clauses in our Constitution for the mistreatment of African Americans throughout a society. I mean, what more mistreatment is there than slavery, in which you're not even considered human beings? You're considered as much an animal as mules and everything else. But again, to justify that, even our religious teachings, when we talk about provisions in the Bible that say that man has dominion over the earth and all of its inhabitants, you then have to justify that these people, these darker skinned people, are not full human beings. They're not men. That then justifies white men having control, that is, indenturing in servitude those of African descent.